In a nutshell, I'd say that I'm a procurement officer by training or by profession, a farmer by choice because I'm also a small-scale farmer who is farming rice and sweet potatoes and cassava in the rural areas as well, and an agripreneur by practice. And that's what I would say that's my day-to-day life evolves around.
Orbiting 250 miles above, the space station provides us with the ultimate view of planet Earth. From this perspective, we ask our guests to engage with 6 questions that orbit around wonder and stories of hopefulness. For the next few minutes, this is our Wonderspace.
Welcome to the 129th episode of the Wonderspace Podcast. My name is Steve Cole, and over the past 3.5 years, I have asked the same 6 questions to amazing people from around the world. We started during the COVID lockdown to enlarge people's vision and perspective and remind everyone that alongside crisis and emergency are always mind-blowing wonders of the natural world and hopeful stories that fuel us and energize us, even in challenging times. Before I introduce our guest this week, here is another 1-minute wonder from Ask Nature, who are part of the Biomimicry Institute.
Most fish are side-to-side swimmers. Whales and dolphins are up and down swimmers. Jellyfish are jellyfish. They pulse their bells and create jets or vortex rings that move them through the water. To human eyes, those clear bells seem like simple gelatinous discs, but their translucence hides intricate inner structures. In the case of the human-sized lion's mane jellyfish, some of that structure becomes more apparent. The 8 petal-like undulations around the edge of the bell are each connected by 2 rays of muscle fibers to a ring of muscle around the inner center of the disc. When these muscles move in coordination, the bell opens and closes like a squishy umbrella. Intriguingly, the motion doesn't just push against the water behind, it creates a vortex of low pressure in front of the bell, pulling the jellyfish forward and inspiring human designers with a whole new realm of possibilities for efficient underwater movement.
From our last episode with Eliza Marshall in London, we orbit south down to Kenya, where we find our next guest on Wonderspace, Joyce Kamande. Joyce is a social entrepreneur passionate about improving food security and livelihoods of small-scale farmers across Africa. She is co-founder of Safi Organics, a company that converts farmers' crop waste to high-yielding organic fertilizers, therefore breathing vitality back into African soils. An amazing person and project nominated by a previous guest, Prudence Muchinouta in Zambia. The Wi-Fi was not good on the day we spoke with Joyce, so we recorded using her mobile reception, which was not ideal. But despite the frustrations, this is a story we need to hear and promote. Joyce, it's great to have you on board Wonderspace this week. Our first question, which we ask everybody, is if we could do a fly past over any part of the world that is significant to you, which place, city or country would it be and why?
If we could do a fly past over any part of the world, I have so many lovely places. But for this particular case, and something that is so special to me is Côte d'Ivoire. And specifically Abidjan. And the reason why I choose this is because for the first time that I went outside my country, Kenya, I traveled to Abidjan, and I loved seeing the South Atlantic Ocean and the cool environment and the lovely people. I loved the culture, and the whole experience was just amazing.
Wow, that's such a great start. That's brilliant. So give us a glimpse into your life story then. You've kind of touched into it a bit there, but give us a glimpse into your life story so far with an emphasis on what you're doing currently.
I'm born, raised in central Kenya. Currently, I'm a co-founder and the chief operations officer of Safi Organics, a company that basically uses technology to design to decentralize in small-scale fertilizer production using the locally available biomass waste in the rural villages. And so we do this working with youth groups who actually become part of our production process. We train them on how to produce biochar, and biochar is in terms of the climate change now. There's a lot that is really happening. So our process and what I'm working on is really tackling this issue. So we train the youths to recycle waste and form biochar, and then now Safi Organics get into a space where we do value addition to this biochar, then package it into a 50 kg bag, a standard bag in the market, and you sell it as Safi Organic fertilizers. So I'm in charge of the whole operations, and I would say that I've been in a position to serve and empower rural youths and women, farmers to, in this case, turn around their life in the best way possible, especially in the agricultural space. So in a nutshell, I'd say that I'm a procurement officer by training or by profession, a farmer by choice, because I'm also a small-scale farmer who is farming rice and sweet potatoes and cassava in the rural areas as well, and an agripreneur by practice. And that's what I would say that's my day-to-day life evolves around.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring. One of our previous guests was Abby Rose from Farmerama, and the way that she spoke about soil was so compelling. And just reading something online on your website that you've rejuvenated 7,000 acres and impacted 10,000 farmers. That's quite an extraordinary achievement in such a short space of time. And so what is the vision of Safi Organics? How do you see things evolving?
Our future, and at this juncture, is that we are scaling up. And currently, actually, we have not updated the 10,000. We are currently working with over 12,000 smallholder farmers. Safi Organics want to leverage and set up the same production plants like what we are currently operating on in the whole country, about 5 production plants working in different biomass waste. Right now, we are working in the rice value chain. So we are working with the rice husks, or what people rather call rice hulls. But as we are expanding, we'll work with things like baguettes, coffee husk, the wheat husk as well. And then as we're expanding, we want to partner or work on a franchise model where we partner with agripreneurs who are interested to explore on the agricultural sector. We train them, and they use our technology to actually do the conversion of the local biomass available at their rural, at the local level that they are working on. And with this, we provide them with a special nutrient mix, and they can package and brand their product under Safi Organics, and they can be able to sell this within the market that we have already created. So this is the model of expansion that we want to leverage across even Africa, in other countries, as long as we find partners, and our model is replicable even across the world, as long as there's availability of biomass waste that are at the local level. And the technology we use, we have a high-end technology, and we also have a technology for a local at a local level that even a farmer can actually be able to convert the locally available biomass at the farm level. So it's just a lot of technology that is adaptable, sustainable, and replicable across the world.
That's brilliant. So in all this work and vision and momentum, where, Joyce, is your place of reset or recharge?
Oh, my place of research. That's a good question. I find a love in nature, because nature finds to have a good place where comes everybody without any judgment. So for me, and what I really thrive in is just sitting alongside the river and how that water flows. And it gives me a reflection that anything that passes by, you don't have the capacity to actually even change a thing. When that water passes and flows, it will never reverse. So for me, it gives me a chance to actually see the future rather than really focusing on the past.
Here we go. I totally relate to that. That's amazing. And obviously, you've travelled quite a bit. So, is there a part of the world that really inspires you? more than any other place, what wonder of the natural world inspires you the most?
One of the natural worlds that really inspires most, but apparently, unfortunately, I've not visited, is the Victoria Falls in Zambia. And the fact that it's located in Africa is something that is really amazing for me, because I'm an African leader. I relate to Africa. It relates to my own problems and also my own solutions. So with this kind of wonder of the world, it's something that, of course, even relating back to what inspires me most, the fact the falls are so great, there's a lot of things, it attracts a lot of economical empowerment within the people in Zambia and Zimbabwe, is something that's really inspiring for me. And then the fact that that is a natural wonder of the world that is just located in small Zambia and Zambia and Zimbabwe is something that is really, really amazing and very encouraging, especially to just look back and say Africa can still produce the best of the best.
Here we go. That's so good. So, Joyce, what is your story of hopefulness that's not your own, about a person, business, or non-profit who are doing amazing things for the world? Who would you love to give a shout out to?
I would like to give a shout out to the late Wangari Maathai, a visionary leader and an environmentalist. And why she really inspires me is because among all the honors that she received when she was alive, her legacy still continues and lives within us. There's no other year that passes by without people remembering the work that she did. And I'm not only proud of her because I'm a Kenyan, it's because her work inspired many people across the world. She did some great work even in the United States. And also that she was the first African woman to actually get the Nobel Prize. And amazingly, she was still the first African woman in Central and East Africa to get a PhD. Nothing inspires me more than that. And the fact that she's also from Kenya and she's also from my tribe gives me some hopefulness that despite growing up in a semi-arid area and despite all the challenges that happens within the ecosystem, I still cling because Wangari Maathai made it. I still also believe that I can also make it. And also the Greenbelt movement, it still exists to date. There are a lot of people who are riding over what she really established those many years ago. And allow me to quote some of her words. And she said that it's the little things citizens do that what will make the difference is my little thing. And this thing is planting trees, but mine as Joyce is recycling biomass waste and making organic fertilizer affordable to African farmers. That's where I claim my hope on.
That's amazing. Finally, as we prepare to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere from this overview of Earth, what wisdom, insight, or question would you like to leave with us?
I want to leave our audience with is an insight that the world can only be what you want it to be. And only if you can share the light you carry with others. But my question is, are you pouring the best to the world? Food for thought. The world is a global village, and for your voice and work to be known, normalize telling your story in the best narrative that exists.
That's brilliant. What a great way to finish our time. Thank you so much for your willingness to be on the Wonderspace podcast, and I raise a glass to everything of what you're doing with Safi Organics and just the impact that you're having on so many farmers and so many people's lives. It is amazing. So it's been an absolute joy to have you on board Wonderspace. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Steve, and the entire Wonderspace podcast team.
To find out more about Safi Organics, go to safiorganics.co.ke. I want to thank Joyce for joining us on Wonderspace this week and for engaging with our 6 questions. I finished with a question to you. What is your story of hopefulness that's not your own, about a person, business, or non-profit who are doing amazing things for the world? a story that makes a name for someone else. Thanks for listening.